You are about to make a financial decision today. Maybe a small one, maybe a big one. But whatever it is, you are going to make it the same way almost everyone around you does. Reacting, guessing, hoping. And the reason is not stupidity. It is not laziness. The reason is that nobody ever told you the secret. The secret that wealthy people have quietly passed down for over 3,000 years. Here is what is strange. The principles that built the largest fortunes in ancient history are the same principles running behind the largest fortunes in the world today. They were never hidden. They were written down in clay tablets, in papyrus scrolls, in stone-cut ledgers found beneath the ruins of cities that no longer exist. And almost nobody reads them. Most people think wealth is about money. That is the first mistake. Money is just a tool. Wealthy people figured this out before the Roman Empire rose. They figured out that wealth is not a number. Wealth is a system. And once you understand the system, the number takes care of itself. Picture this. Ancient Babylon, 1800 BCE. A merchant stands at the edge of a torch-lit marketplace. He is not the wealthiest man there, but he is the calmest, because he already did the one thing that separates him from every desperate trader around him. He paid himself first, before rent, before debts, before food. The very first portion of every coin he earned went into a sealed clay pot beneath his floor, untouchable, growing, invisible to everyone but him. George S. Clason preserved this wisdom in The Richest Man in Babylon. He reduced centuries of financial logic to one line. A part of all you earn is yours to keep, not whatever is left at the end of the month. A part, taken first, protected absolutely. The moment money enters your hands, your mind constructs reasons to spend it. The Babylonians knew this. So they removed the decision entirely. What you never hold, you cannot spend. That is not discipline. That is architecture. Now the scene shifts. Ancient Greece, 600 BCE. A man named Thales of Miletus walks through the marketplace while merchants laugh at him. He is a philosopher with no business in finance, but he has been watching the stars. He has come to a quiet conclusion about next year's olive harvest. He believes it will be extraordinary. So Thales negotiates the right to use every olive press in the region the following season at a low price, locked in today. If the harvest fails, he loses a small deposit. If it succeeds, he controls the infrastructure every farmer desperately needs. Aristotle later recorded this in his Politics. What Thales invented without naming it was the option, the same instrument moving trillions through global markets today. Wealthy people do not just risk money, they structure risk. They design their exposure so the worst outcome is survivable and the best outcome is transformational. Most people do the exact opposite. Their worst outcome destroys them. Their best barely moves the needle. Ask yourself that about every decision in front of you, not just what happens if this works. Ask what happens if it does not. Ancient China, 500 BCE. A man named Fan Li stands before a king who has just won the war Fan Li helped plan. The kingdom is celebrating. The king offers honors, titles, land, permanent power. Fan Li bows, and then he leaves, quietly. Because Fan Li understands something most advisors never grasp. A king who no longer needs you has every reason to fear you. Fan Li disappears, resurfaces in a new city under a new name, builds a fortune from nothing, then does it again in a third city, 3 fortunes, 3 identities. Because visible wealth is a target. He diversified not just money, but identity, income streams, and exposure. No single event could ever take everything from him at once. Rome, 100 BCE. Marcus Licinius Crassus walks through a burning street. People are running away from the flames. Crassus is walking toward them. He has 500 trained men behind him. He approaches the burning building's owner and names a low price. The only price that makes sense when the alternative is watching everything turn to ash. If the owner accepts, his men fight the fire. If they refuse, it burns. Then Crassus buys the lot for even less. Plutarch documented this with contempt. But Crassus built what historians estimate to be nearly $2 trillion in modern wealth. He understood that crisis creates a gap between what something is worth and what a desperate person accepts in a moment of panic. He built a machine to be present at that gap every single time. Babylon, Greece, China, Rome, different centuries, different continents, different languages, the same principles, arrived at independently, proven across thousands of years. Pay yourself before anyone else. Structure risk asymmetrically. Diversify your exposure at every level. Move toward crisis when others flee. Think in decades, not months. These are not tactics. They are a way of seeing.